What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Who that nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And really do appreciate your time, man. I apologize for the late start. I just got home. I had a flag football game tonight. So it ran a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I appreciate everybody for stopping by, talk a little bit about the Saints week 13 loss versus the Miami Dolphins. And, everybody got an opportunity to kind of decompress about the game. So we're going to be discussing and talking a little bit about that throughout the evening. Special shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Really do appreciate you all for spending a little time with your boy. Yeah, man. The New Orleans Saints lose another game. I mean, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And now we know what's up with the New Orleans Saints. We don't have to, wonder anymore. Will this team be able to turn it around? Honestly, it doesn't really matter because the New Orleans Saints have been eliminated from playoff contention. It's kind of weird that the New Orleans Saints are done. We found out the very last day in the month of November, but this is basically just where this team is. It's not a very good football team. They have not been a good football team for quite some time. And, most people want, to look at the positive things and try to put a positive spin on what's going on with the Saints. And honestly, I wish I could. As I try to dissect this game and try to understand Kellen more as a play caller and as a leader of men, as I try to understand Tyler Shuck as a quarterback, we're going to get into a few things before we even get started. But I do want to mention that this show is brought to you by MyBookie. I want to give a special shout out to MyBookie as we wrap up the campaign for MyBookie here on the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate them for entrusting in me to be, part of their team for, throughout the last few months. But there's still a promotion that you can take a part in. You can get that buy-in option by using the promo code SAINTS. All right. Use the promo code SAINTS, and you can be a part of that $500 buy-in option. You can also bet on not only Saints games, but you can bet on any game you want. You can bet on any NFL team, right? There are different parlays that you can take a part in. All you have to do is download the MyBookie app or go to their website. And once again, use that promo code SAINTS. But what I learned from watching the game, of course, a lot of you may not know, I was actually listening to the call as I was driving back from Jacksonville, Florida. I went to the Bahamas last week, and I was riding the car listening to the game. Didn't get opportunity to watch it. Only like highlights when I touched down and got home. But shouts out to Mike Hoss and Deuce McAllister. They do an outstanding job on the call. Deuce McAllister does a really good job at breaking things down and also making things pretty simplistic for people that may not know that much about football. They can still follow the game as they listen. And it kind of just took me back to the old school days when the Saints were terrible. I mean, some of y'all back in the days in the 90s where I was just a young kid sitting on my grandmother's living room floor. And I tell this story a lot because it pretty much changed the trajectory of my life. I don't think I would be as interested or into radio or even got into broadcasting if it wasn't for me sitting on the floor, listening to those blacked out Saints games. But as I look at the game and I kind of analyze it and I break it down, I see some good things from the team. I see some guys out there, they're really trying. Like, I mean, if they were just out there quitting, Alontae Taylor, if they were quitting, like the majority of the team was quitting, then I would just be really upset. But the thing about it is, this team continues to fight despite the fact of only having 2 wins. And I think as long as they continue to do that, it's kind of hard for you to sit up here and say that maybe Kellen Moore isn't the guy. It's rather you got a bunch of high character guys that they're just prideful men, or it's the fact that they may appreciate and like Kellen more and want to win for this guy. But I can tell you this. Kellen Moore has got to get better as a play caller, and he definitely has to get better as a coach. And some people are saying, oh, man, he's a young, inexperienced coach, and, he's trying to figure it out. He don't have a cast of characters and players. But I want y'all to understand something. All right? And tell me if this is fair. Would you say that the Sean Payton situation that he inherited was worse than a Kellen Moore situation? I'm going to ask you this question, all right? Do you think that the Sean Payton team that he inherited, the entire city was decimated? I mean, and you think about it, there weren't too many good players on the team. I mean, they had Reggie Bush, you know what I'm saying, who they drafted. Everybody was excited about him. But, I mean, most of these guys were like just castaway football players from the Cowboys, like Scott Shanley and, and all those other guys. I mean, Marcus Colston, nobody knew who Marcus Colston was. He was a 7th-round draft pick from Hofstra. I mean, Devery Henderson, he was a deep threat, but we know he couldn't catch a cold in 40 below when Sean Payton first got to the team. Like, he was wide open because he had that Rashid Shaheed type speed, but he'll miss a wide open pass. I mean, you had what? Joe Horn that was way past his prime. I mean, they had like a bunch of just cast-offs. But in the process, Sean Payton turned that team into a 10-6 team. And yeah, they had Drew Brees, but we didn't know what Drew Brees was. Man, Drew Brees was a quarterback with a chip on his shoulder and a bum arm. But they managed to win 10 games. You look at some of these other teams that have struggled to find prosperity, but they end up getting a coach and they end up winning. Like Caleb Williams, to me, still leaves a lot to be desired. But Ben Johnson put together an offensive line, got that running game looking like respectable in Chicago, and he aligned himself with Dennis Allen, who is a very good defensive coordinator. And now, as of right now, they're number 1 seed. All I'm saying is, like, fair or unfair, don't you want to feel or see that this guy has it all together? And even if the New Orleans Saints lack talent, I'm not asking him to be Sean Payton. That's a tough ask. Sean Payton is just wired differently. But I would like to see progress, especially progress on the side of the football that you specialize in. You can make an argument that Kellen Moore's side of the football is, well, ain't no argument. It's the worst on the team. So I'm thinking, like, at least if you can't stop anybody defensively, you got yourself an offensive-minded coach. So guess what? At least your offense looking like something. At least they can put up points and keep behinds and seats. But he's boring. The product is boring. And nobody really want to be watching this, right? I mean, if you didn't have an emotional investment in the Saints, ask yourself this question. Would you be watching this team? Would you be watching the Saints? Absolutely not. You would rather watch something else or do something else with your time. Plain and freaking simple. All I'm saying is, when I look at this guy, I wonder to myself, can he get it done? Can he get it done? Now, it's still early in his head coaching campaign. Some people want to sit up here and say, okay, man, it's too early. He inherited this team. That's fair. But at the end of the day, I still want to see progress from a football team. I want to see consistency. I want to see some plays being run effectively. When you got guys like jumping off sides, and the only way you can find success is up-tempo type football. Getting a yard is hard. Throwing the ball is hard. Running the football is hard. Like, you have to ask yourself, did the Saints make the right decision? Not only, once again, only time will tell. But right now, like, when you look at a guy like Kellen Moore, you have to wonder to yourself, is this the right guy for the job? And I think that's fair. I'm not saying that he won't be. Maybe next year, the New Orleans Saints cap situation will be a little bit better. Picking in the top 5, get yourself a generational talent if you play your cards right. But as of right now, I think it's a fair I think it's pretty fair for us to be able to sit up here and analyze Kellen Moore. Not wholeheartedly, but when you look at Kellen Moore, man, you got to wonder to yourself, did the Saints make the right decision? Especially when your side of the football that you specialize in is the worst on the team. Now, there are some good things that Kellen Moore has done. Like looking at the Saints injury report, it don't look like a mass unit like it has over the last couple of years. So shouts out to the strength and conditioning team and keeping guys up and, keeping them off the list. So look, if we're going to criticize the Saints in that regard in years past, like we got to give them credit for them being able to turn that thing around. I mean, you look at some of these young, talented guys that they drafted, like Danny Stutzman out there making plays. You got Yernis Sink out there. I mean, he kind of struggled a little bit in the game, but it kind of comes with the territory. But I think that you probably got yourself a starting safety in him for the next couple of years. You look at Calvin Banks, who to me, you definitely found the left tackle that can help your team for years to come. And honestly, I think that Tyler Shuck looks really good. I think that Tyler Shuck deserves, at this particular point, to be the starting quarterback going into 2026, where people can sit up here and say, okay, man, if he put some more weapons around this guy, he can get it done. Because here's the thing. He got the Saints down there to score. He made the pass to Chris Olave that he needed to make. Chris Olave dropped the pass. I mean, but he has shown you that he has what it takes. Now, some people like to analyze the quarterback position based on touchdowns and interceptions. Not to me, right? Especially when a guy is young and inexperienced and he's trying to figure it out and you're going up against a very seasoned secondary. Like you got Rasul Douglas out there. I don't know if some of you watch Rasul Douglas, but he has been a very respectable member of every team secondary. I mean, from the Bills, from the Green Bay Packers, and now with the Dolphins, right? Minkah Fitzpatrick in his second stint with the Dolphins. That's a well-respected guy right there. These guys have seen everything under the sun. So at the end of the day, it's like when it all comes down to it, like I can understand making mistakes. Now, you got to be careful, man, because you do not want to turn the ball over in the red zone. That is something that you do not want to do. But there are some interesting things that I want to bring up to you all. Want to go ahead and mention this. I was kind of doing some research on Kellen Moore, and it was a few things that I found interesting. So a lot of people were wondering about his coaching style and plays being called on third down. So this is Kellen Moore's third down conversion rate. So this goes back from 2019 all the way to the present. All right. So from 2019 to 2022, he was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. All right. So you had 387 conversions out of 878 attempts. That's 44.1%. Then he became the offensive coordinator in 2023 of the Los Angeles Chargers, where they had 91 conversions out of 237 attempts for 38.4%. Then he coached the Eagles. They had 98 conversions out of 235 attempts at 41.7%. And with the Saints, they have 50 as of right now, 59 conversions out of 157 attempts, 37.6%. So between the Chargers and the Saints, those were his worst stops. Now, let's go ahead and break this down for a second. But before we do that, I do want to go to the chat, right? We're going to go ahead and break it down. Well, matter of fact, now I'll go ahead and break it down, and then we'll go to the chat. All right, so you look at the Chargers and you look at the Saints. Those were his two worst stops, right? Now, you want to be able on third downs, like most teams that have a high-powered offense, they will probably go above 45%, probably like 45 to 50%. That's hella good. Like, that's like greatest show on turf good. That's like 2012 Saints good right there. Y'all remember when they had like 40 first downs in one game, ironically, against the Cowboys? But, that's hella good. But if you want to be average, you want to be in between 41 to about 44%. That's like league average right there. So he's at like 41% when it comes to the third down conversion rate. All right. We'll get into the red zone in just a second, but you have to wonder to yourself, like his best his best years were when he had a really talented offense, when you had guys like, CeeDee Lamb, and had guys like Michael Gallup, and you had Dak Prescott, throwing the football, and you had Ezekiel Elliott. He was into his prime, right? You had Dalton Schultz, and, like all these other guys that were like really talented at the tight end position, right? I mean, the Eagles, we know you had Saquon Barkley, and you had Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So it seems to me like he does his best when you put a team around him, an effective team. So you have to wonder to yourself, maybe if the New Orleans Saints looked better, I'm talking about as far as talent, like skill set guys, like if they had better talent, would Kellen Moore be able to coach this team? I mean, and get the best out of these guys. So I'm just wondering, but you also have to ask yourself, is this the right guy for the job? Because as of right now, the New Orleans Saints don't have that. And the Saints don't look like an appealing spot as of right now. So you're not really going to get a free agent. Like, you're not going to be able to attract a guy if he's a free agent. And let's just say, for example, he's going into the prime of his career and he wants stability and he wants to chase a championship. I don't know if he wants to come to New Orleans. So if you can't put a team, they're going to have to build something through the draft, unfortunately. And the question is, will Kellen Moore be able to develop these guys to be able to make them what he needs them to be for his offensive play calling to be effective? So that's the question. But right now, he's an average offensive play caller, and he has been an average offensive play calling throughout his career if you look at the analytics. If that was Jeremiah ball game, who that Jeremiah? Says, laughing my behind off. Yeah, you've been owe me. Let's see. Young Nola, you left since. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Says, I'm highly entertained. Says, you got one more year of this, then I'll be worried. Year 3, I think the Saints will win the division. I think, man, to me, with a good draft and a really good offseason, the Saints can get themselves out of this situation. Now, I'm going to tell you why. I think the biggest issue when it comes to the offense of the Saints is the fact that they can't run the football, right? I mean, they can't run the football, and they are relying on a young guy in Tyler Shuck to be able to throw the ball all over the place. The first thing the Saints need to do, and I know people don't want to hear this, they do not want to hear this, they need to fix that offensive line. They to me, look, I know Tyler S.A. Fuaga has been struggling this season. I think a lot of it has to do with the injury. I'm not going to make excuses. If you're out there, man, that's how people judge you. But I think they have the right left and right tackle on this team. I think they got the right center, but I'm very concerned. This is the second year that Eric McCoy has missed an extended amount of time. This year, he's missing an entire season. So to me, that leaves some question marks. Now, I'm not saying throw away Eric McCoy, but you might want to go into the draft trying to look for a guy who can play that guard position. And if something was to happen to Eric McCoy in 2026, he can slide over. Like that's what I feel like they need to do. It's almost like what the Dallas Cowboys did a couple of years ago. Like they drafted a guy, I don't know, I forgot his name. He ended up like having to retire early, but he was out of the University of Wisconsin, and they played him at guard. And when they end up having injuries at the guard position, they just kind of slid him to the center. And he was like a really good center. He was like top 3 in the entire league, man. I feel bad, man, because I actually like that guy. I want to say his last name was Ferguson. I want to say it was Ferguson. I think his last name was Ferguson too. But at the end of the day, that's what the Saints need to do. Like, you need to have an insurance policy. And also, you got to fix the guard position. Like, you cannot go into the season once again with Cesar Ruiz and Dylan Radins. Like, you know what Cesar Ruiz is. Like, you know what he is. He's the guy that it's unfortunate because the Saints look at him as the best athletic offensive lineman that they have. So when they be running these screens, they mostly run it to his side to have him as the lead blocker. And, I just think that, you can do better. with, than Cesar Ruiz. Like you got to fix this interior. You got to get yourself some big hog mollies up front. Like you got to get some guys that can move the football, and you gotta fix this running game. Like I love Alvin Kamara. I really do. I think that he's a talented guy. I mean, everybody knows what he has meant to the New Orleans Saints, but at the end of the day, like everybody has a shelf life. And I'm not and I know how the Saints operate. They're probably not going to move on from Alvin Kamara. Like they probably would allow him to retire on his own terms. But what you need to do is you need to be able to get yourself another running back. Like you're probably not going to get Jeremiah Love because you got too many issues, right? On both sides of the football. So you're probably not going to go with Jeremiah Love with your first round pick. But you can definitely like maybe get another running back in the later rounds. But you got to find somebody that can do some of the things that Alvin Kamara can do, and be able to maybe go alongside him. Now, some people would probably say Kendre Miller, and I can understand that. Kendre played pretty well, but the injuries, once again, like I mean, he was having a really good season, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt. So the New Orleans Saints are going to have to figure this running game out in order to be able to help out Tyler Shuck, because you're asking a lot of a young quarterback to put the team on his shoulders right now. And I just think that the best friend of a young quarterback is a good running game. So people don't respect the Saints when it comes to the running game, so they can just pin their ears back and go at Tyler Shuck. And that's the reason why he's struggled to be able to get the ball out of his hands. He's got sacked 9 times in the last 2 weeks. Thank you very much, DW Joseph, for the $5. Says our offense is living that struggle life for real, especially in the first half. TJ, yeah, I mean, look, they was living. They've been struggling. I mean, only 62 yards in the first half. That's embarrassing. I don't care. I don't care what type of offense you have. I don't care if you just don't have nobody. Like 62 yards is unacceptable. It is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen, for you to go out there and have that type of performance. Like, I was sorry. Like, they got their first down, I want to say 3 minutes into the second quarter. I know I said on the last episode, like 5 minutes into the second quarter, or well, 5 minutes left, I should say. But yeah, they got it on like 3 minutes into the second quarter. And they only had like 2 first downs the entire half. That's unacceptable, man. I mean, the fact that we have seen the Saints on countless occasions have, 1 yard to go and can't get 1 yard. No matter if they use QB power, no matter if they use a quarterback sneak. Like, you got to fix that. You have got to fix that. And the New Orleans Saints, they have continued to get in their own way. They say, I disagree with you, TJ. Cannot continue with fixing the interior, but that has gotten us nowhere. We need skilled position players to help Shuck. Look, you may not like the fact that the New Orleans Saints continuously get offensive players, but the fact that they have whiffed on these offensive players. Now, we can have a conversation here, Scarecrow. Like, we can have a conversation about this, and I want you to follow me, okay? And if you still feel the same way, feel free, to do so. But when you look at this offensive line, the Saints have invested first-round picks in the interior of this offensive line, from Trevor Penny, who's no longer with the team, Cesar Ruiz, who was a first-round pick, Eric McCoy was a second-round pick, but he plays like a first-round pick, right? They whiffed on 2 of those 3 guys. So you know what happened? Oh, we made a mistake, so we still got to correct it. So, I think when it comes down to a Scarecrow, you don't trust Mickey Loomis in the front office to fix this issue. So that's why you like, man, let's just go with somebody else, or sure thing that you know for a fact, right? Let's go to Ohio State with it, right? Let's go to University of Washington with it. Let's go to, LSU with it. Let's go to Georgia, Alabama. Let's look at some of these schools where these guys are playing in some of these high-profile games and making plays and acrobatic catches and this, that, and the third. Let's look at that, right? More of a sure thing than y'all trying to gamble, go to the casino, put it all on black, and then you whiffing on offensive linemen. So I understand where you're coming from. You're like, man, we done been down this road before, but it still does not defeat the fact that you need help. And then on top of that, you still need players. to give Tyler Shuck time to get the ball to whoever he throws the ball to. Because I can tell you right now, we can keep on trying to hit our head against the wall and hoping that we break through, but we just wasting our time. This offensive line has got to be addressed. You may not want to address it with your top pick, and I can understand if you don't, but you definitely got to address this offensive line, rather it's through free agency. Like, look what a good offensive line to do. Y'all remember like last year with the Chicago Bears? I mean, Caleb Williams was out there getting killed because their offensive line sucked. They couldn't run the ball. So what did the Bears do? They invested the offseason. They invested in their offensive line. They got it through free agency. They drafted, and they got their offensive line on track. So that's what you need to do. You just like your skepticism and your frustration comes from the fact, I mean, I could be wrong. I won't put no words in your mouth, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that you don't trust the New Orleans Saints to pick the right offensive lineman. But they need to fix this offensive line, man. Like, I want to see Tyler Shuck and what he can actually do. This is why I want people to appreciate what Tyler Shuck is actually doing right now. Tyler Shuck, to me, is helping his offensive line by extending plays. That's why I want, sometimes like when you post on social media, sometimes you tweet stuff and you can't provide context because, you don't want to be sitting up there just tweeting all day and night. That's why I encourage people to please check out the podcast. Like, please check it out, right? So I can provide context. Don't just sit up here and be like, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Please. That's all I ask. And if you don't like what I'm saying, then fine, back to your regularly scheduled program, right? But I said on Twitter, I said that Tyler Shuck has some Ben Roethlisberger in him, and he got some Josh Allen. Somebody replied to me and said, every white 6'5" quarterback don't have to be Josh Allen or Ben Roethlisberger. And I agree with that. Just because I'm not saying that because he's 6'5". I'm not saying it because he's a white 6'5" quarterback. What I'm saying is, when you look at Big Ben Roethlisberger, we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and we looked at the success that they had when Ben Roethlisberger was a quarterback, but it was year after year after year their offensive line continued to struggle. And Big Ben, being a large 6'6", 240-pound quarterback, he was extending plays. He allowed his wide receivers to break off the route and get open. And he improvised. And that's what Tyler Shuck was doing. Now, a lot of times he's holding on to the football, trying to allow his receivers to get open, which leads to a sack. Shouts out to Ralph, on the happy hour. We don't necessarily agree with it, all the time, but I do agree when he says this. He says, I feel like a sack is a quarterback stat. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like it does involve like offensive lineman getting whiffed, but sometimes a quarterback can run into a sack. Holding on to the ball and asking your offensive line to hold it down for more than 3 to 4 seconds, you kind of set yourself up for that. He improvises. He allows these players to break off their routes from time to time and extend the plays. When you have a bad offensive line, that might be beneficial to your team. That might be beneficial to your team. And also his ability to be able to scramble and run. I'm not saying he has the speed of Josh Allen, but he can run. Like, this is a guy who ran a 4.740 at the combine. So you combine those traits, that's beneficial to the team. But what happens if he gets himself a clean pocket and he's able to throw the ball on time? And also learning from the mistakes and the interceptions that he make by, one, holding on to the ball too long, or number two, not having the patience to allow his wide receivers to get separation when he actually has time. Which, I found out in a couple of those drives, he had a couple guys like wide open. But the thing about it is he was getting pressure in his face and getting sacked. It sped up the clock in his head, and, he tried to make quick decisions. But he has that in him. He has those qualities. And that's why I want people to not hate watch, right? I mean, I think a lot of people have their reservations still about Spencer Rattler, so they don't appreciate what Tyler Shuck is bringing to the table. That's why they rather sit up here and talk about, their stats are virtually identical. but they're not looking at the fact of what this guy can actually bring to the table. Both of these quarterbacks possess certain skill sets that one does not possess. But when it comes down to it, I think that Tyler Shuck, based on what the Saints offense look like and what it needs right now, he's probably the better quarterback because he can extend plays. He's extending plays and allowing guys to get open. And that's why I feel like you have a more dynamic offense when it comes to throwing the ball downfield. There's nothing dynamic about this offense overall, but you have the dynamic of throwing the ball down the field because he's extending plays. So I just want people to like to appreciate that. Like you can appreciate the guy's game and what he brings to the table and still have an appreciation for Rattler and have, and still support him. But I think a lot of people were, pounding the drum for Spencer Rattler. And then, all of a sudden, like he gets benched. Now you're all of a sudden looking at all of the things that Tyler Shuck isn't that Spencer Rattler is, in your opinion, and to try to justify him, still being a starter over Tyler Shuck. But I'm like, man, that ship is sailed. And, I just think that people just need to have an appreciation for it. Like I wanted to see Spencer Rattler succeed too. I was pounding the drum for the guy too. But, now that Tyler Shuck is the quarterback, I can see some of the qualities that he possesses. And I think this guy can be a starting quarterback and be a really good starting quarterback for the Saints, pending, putting some key players around him and fixing that offensive line. Dennis Allen in Chicagoland and Sean Payton and P. Carmichael in Mile High having success, man, that hurts. Yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like watching, watching your, I don't know, watching somebody, succeed, like somebody, like maybe it was the person that got away or something like that, and you just watching them living their best life, like why did it happen? Like where did we go wrong? And I ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the one that got away. I already got her. You know what I'm saying? She in the other room. Shouts out to my wife. All right. You ain't about to have me sleeping on the couch. But anyway, look, it's almost like the one that got away, right? People are like, oh man, like what could have been, but I mean, look, it was a great moment in time. And a part of me wondered, like, what the hell happened? Why did it have to get to this point? But at the end of the day, man, Sean Payton decided to go elsewhere. I mean, but, time marches on. Like at one time, Andy Reid was the head coach of the Eagles, and they had a lot of success. Man. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but they got there. And, now he with the Chiefs, man. And I'm pretty sure, like, Philly fans watching Andy Reid hoist Lombardi trophies year after year, even though they beat him. But, the fact that before they even, like, got the success with Sirianni, I'm pretty sure they was thinking, like, man, why we couldn't keep Andy Reid, right? So, I mean, it's up to the Saints to do that. It's up to the Saints to try to turn this thing around. That's on them. You knew Payton would be successful, and Dennis Allen will always have a job as defensive coordinator. Yep, that's their calling cards. Sean Payton is a good head coach, and Dennis Allen is a good defensive coordinator. I would never take that away from Dennis Allen. As a head coach, not very good. I would not trust him with my football team. But as a defensive coordinator, I definitely would. Shuck has the arm talent to succeed. He has the IQ to succeed too. Look, man, I just want people to understand. Like, I don't want people like to just sit at their TV and, judge based on, oh man, he threw an interception. Like, come on, man. But like, what are the good qualities that you see? Like Tyler Shuck, this is how I evaluate the quarterback position. Are you better in certain areas than you were last week? Are you making throws? Are you trusting yourself? Like, are you making the same mistakes twice? Like every week I see something from Tyler Shuck that I didn't see the week before. I see a guy that is getting more and more confident at the quarterback position. And it's not, oh man, he just threw an interception. Like, so what? Like that's going to happen. Guys are like, look, you play long enough, if you play a quarterback position, you're going to get an interception. You play cornerback, you play long enough, somebody going to moss you. You play wide receiver at one particular position, a cornerback is going to get the best of you. That just comes with the territory. That just comes with the territory, man, but that don't mean anything. That doesn't define you. So I just when people like sit up there and be like, oh man, look at him, he threw a pick. Oh, he fumbled the football. Like, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. But that don't mean that the guy doesn't have redeeming qualities. I wonder. I wonder if Peyton Manning played in a modern day NFL. Would he be able to be who he is today? Probably not. Because when Peyton Manning was a rookie, homie threw more picks than Razor Ramon. I mean, 20 plus interceptions. Imagine throwing 20 plus interceptions in 2025. Get that bum up out of here. He a bust. Somebody needs to be fired. Wouldn't allow him to develop. Wouldn't allow him to figure it out. I just think that we are quick to rush to judgment when it comes to these players, not understanding that they're not a finished product. Like, we may have all our hopes and dreams embedded into that quarterback, said running back, said cornerback. And hey, man, and we start buying into what the dirt sheets are saying. Oh, he's the second coming of Jerry Rice. Oh, he's like Deion Sanders. Oh, he's the next Reggie White. Like, we buy into these narratives and these scouting reports, and we like, oh man, he's coming to my team. And he might end up being that. But I just think that we shut the door after 5 or 6 weeks. Oh man, how many sacks he got? He only got 2 sacks. He must not be what everybody think he was. Like, some guys are going to come in and they're going to take the league by storm. Hopefully that guy plays on your team. But most times than not, a quarterback, a running back, a cornerback, a linebacker, a defensive end has got to figure it out. Cam Jordan only had 1 sack his rookie season. 1. And he played every game. Look at Cam Jordan right now. Not only is Cam Jordan the greatest defensive player in New Orleans Saints history, he's up there flirting with the top defensive player in NFL history. So what would happen like if everybody just started judging Cam Jordan on his rookie season? Will we look at Cam Jordan how we see him today? That's why I say you got to allow guys to figure it out. And we can't just be judging guys. Oh, he threw a pick. Oh, he fumbled the football. Like, man, that happens. That happens, bro. I tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell y'all a story tonight. So I'm playing flag football out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and man, they playing some cover 2. So I'm out there, man, I'm out there finding a little soft spot in the flat. So, you know what I'm saying? I hit a little dig route, you know what I'm saying? And I catch the ball. Moss this dude out here, right? Then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like, we up there chirping, talking noise, this, that, and the third. Next drive, throw the ball down the field, right? I try to go reach for the ball. The guy jumps like right behind me, catch the ball with 2 hands, right? I'm trying to knock the ball away. He catches the ball over me. Like, it happens, right? All I'm saying is, like, you're going to be up some days. You're going to be down. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? At the quarterback position, like, Tyler Shuck might end up having like one game where you're like, man, this dude out here balling, man. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. It might happen. But if you up here just looking at the guy based on him throwing interceptions and fumbling the football, like something that quarterbacks often do, no matter how great they are, especially like being young and inexperienced, man. Like, it is what it is. Let's see. Shuck was a wasted pick. Sarcastically, there's virtually no difference between Shuck and Rattler. I see another summer of quarterback competition. Kellen Moore seat should be lukewarm. He's too scary for me. Look, I don't want to change your mind. That's your opinion, and I respect that. Thank you very much for the $9.99. But let's break this thing down. Let's break it down. Anybody ever wondered why? And by why, I mean, why do these quarterbacks look identical? Like, why do they look identical? Are they the same quarterback? Or is it the fact that Kellen Moore is scheming and calling plays to make these guys basically resemble them like one another? To me, when it comes to Spencer Rattler, let's start with him. I think when it comes to Spencer Rattler, I think Spencer Rattler understood the assignment. I also think that he understood that he was a week-to-week quarterback. So, like I said, it's like basically driving down the street 10-2, right? And it's an icy road. Can't take your eyes off the road, and you got to roll this thing slow, right? Slow and steady wins the race, okay? You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I'm about 10 miles from home. Okay, 9 miles, 8 miles, we got there. Okay, got to a stop sign. Oh, man, I ain't slide. That is how he was playing the quarterback position. He understood, like, okay, man, one move. Okay, I'm up here if I'm driving, one false move, I'm on a curve. I'm slipping and sliding, right? That's how I feel like he plays the quarterback position. If Spencer Rattler was appointed the starting quarterback of the Saints, he probably would have been a little bit more aggressive than what he actually was. But he was playing the quarterback position 10-2. I look at Tyler Shuck. I think that he's playing the quarterback in some cases 10-2. But I also just think that, I think that both of these guys are trying to make the right decision. Rattler was trying to make the right decision, and so was Tyler Shuck. And I also feel like Kellen Moore is trying to call the right plays and make the right decisions. And I don't think he's fully trusting guys. Like, I look at how he coaches. Like, he's not the type of coach that will sit up there and guy messes up and call him out. He's the type of coach that if a guy messes up, he probably won't call their number for the rest of the game, or probably a couple, you know what I'm saying? Like, he probably won't look their way. Oh, I tried to throw the ball to him and he dropped it. And he probably, you know what I'm saying? It probably was a good play. He probably dropped it, but the next time you throw it to him, probably going to catch it. So to me, I just think that he is trying to keep this thing on the road. So to me, I think it's a lot of conservative play calling because he don't want these guys to mess up, because he knows that this team isn't structured to a point where they can play from behind, which they often end up doing. And, in my opinion, what has being conservative gotten you at this point? Like, you're not going to the postseason. It's already obvious. You're 2-10. You don't have anything to lose at this point. This is when I'm going to start really questioning. When you know for a fact you're not making the postseason, when you know for a fact that your team ain't going nowhere, right? The only thing that you can do is play spoiler, and definitely evaluate and analyze the players that you have on your football team. That's the only thing that you can do. That's the only thing you can do at this point. So to me, man, I want to see more offensive innovation. I want to see guys making plays. If it end up being a turnover, a fumble, I'm okay with that, man. Be aggressive. See what you have in these players. I am perfectly fine with Shuck. I think he is a quarterback you can build around, especially if Vele keeps an upward trajectory. I do too. My niece used to babysit Myles Garrett. Man. Did she ever ask him for some tickets? I used to babysit you. Can I get some tickets? Are we officially eliminated yet? Yes, the Saints are officially eliminated from playoff contention. They cannot make the postseason. I think Shuck, with a real O-line, can thrive in the offense. I agree, man. I agree. I just, man, if you're watching Tyler Shuck and you just feel like this guy can't, they ain't got no redeeming qualities. I just think, man, you may need to get your TV, get a new TV or something. This guy is talented. He's talented, and he's making throws like that pass that he threw to Devon Vele for that touchdown. You don't have too many quarterbacks that can make that throw. You don't have too many. That pass that he threw to Chris Olave, he hit it. Think about this. Chris Olave was in between two defenders, and he dropped that ball right where it needed to be. Like I said, you have to you got to appreciate what you're seeing from this guy, and to think, okay, man, you're seeing flashes. If he can build on this, and it seemed like he made out of the right stuff. He has leadership qualities. He has the type of personality that makes you, gravitate to him, especially if some good football play comes with it. If he can put it all together, to me, the Saints found their guy. He checks all the boxes when it comes to the leadership, the poise, the the confidence in himself. Like he checks all the boxes. Like if he can really like just start elevating his game, I think he'll be a not only a Saints fan favorite, but he'll be a household name too. You'll start seeing more primetime game from the Saints if he can elevate his game. Because if you look at Tyler Shuck and you look at some of these other quarterbacks that are rookies that have started this season, like, I mean, his numbers are like top notch, like compared to them. Like his completion percentage, I want to say he has the best completion percentage of the quarterbacks. This is based on guys who have played like 4 to 6 plus games, right? We're talking Cam Ward, we're talking Dylan Gabriel, we're talking Jackson Dart, and I can't remember the other quarterback that I'm thinking about here, but I think he may be the fourth one, right? So out of those quarterbacks, right, he leads all first-year quarterbacks in completion percentage with 65.2. He appeared in 6 games. He started 4, and he currently holds the second highest passer rating among rookie quarterbacks at 83.6. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. So he's faring very well versus his counterparts. Now, you can argue and be like, man, like these other quarterbacks ain't really hitting on nothing. I mean, but Jackson Dart, to me, looks as advertised. Cam Ward just needs a team around him. Dylan Gabriel, next question. But at the end of the day, like he is doing what needs to be done, and it's something that you can build on. I mean, did y'all see the rookie quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings? I mean, you could have that. Have y'all seen what JJ McCarthy looking like? Yes, I'm judging him based on the rookie because he did not play his rookie year. Y'all see what he looking like? Y'all want some of that? Or y'all want somebody that rookie and he looks promising and he looks like he can make some plays, or a guy that you feel like career, like, man, what are we doing here? Kellen still learning a head coach, but that Dane O-line is the biggest need at this point. I'm impressed with how Shuck recognizes blitzes and set protections only for Reeves to wind up on the dang turf. Yeah. I mean, but that's good though, right? I mean, a guy that can go out here, put the team in a position to succeed. I like that. I like that, my friends. I like the fact that he can sit up here and do those things. So, yeah, I don't have any issue with that. I don't have an issue with that at all. What I'm gonna do is, man, like for the next like 10 or 15 minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines, man. I want to hear from you all. What do you think about the New Orleans Saints? Excuse me. What y'all think about the New Orleans Saints? And what the season has been so far. I mean, of course, it has been without a shadow of a doubt an absolute disaster. But what are your thoughts about the future of the team? What do you think the Saints need to do in order for them to try to get themselves out of the situation? But yeah, I mean, Kellen Moore is learning to be a head coach, but I mean, I can accept that. But there are some things that I cannot accept. I cannot accept the ineptitude of this offense and how it looked. I mean, you can have the most average play caller have more success than the New Orleans Saints have had in 2025. It just seems like they can't do anything right offensively, and everything is hard. Like they throw the ball, like it just everything just looks complicated, look convoluted, and you just gotta wonder, like, what are you trying to get out of these guys? Are you trying to get everything you can out of these guys? And when I look at it, I just think that you have a bunch of guys on this team. They're very high character guys. So, they demand a level of excellence from one another, which is a plus, because maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a good thing the New Orleans Saints have those type of players on the team, because I don't know if you don't have a DeMario Davis, you don't have a Cam Jordan, if you don't have those type of guys on your team, like what type of atmosphere would you have inside of your locker room? Would you be able to sustain the camaraderie, the kinship of this team? I don't think so. All right, so we're gonna go to Chris. Chris, how you doing, man?
What's up, TJ? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right, Chris, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate that. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think Chris froze up. Yeah. Hey, Chris, go ahead and hit the link. I'm gonna go ahead and suspend like the dial in, just go ahead and hit me back, man. Look, get in the chat, hit that link. Let's see if we can get a better connection on that. We'll get you back on, man. We're gonna go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man?
What's going on, TJ?
Nothing much, man. Man, happy belated Thanksgiving to you, man. How did everything go over there at your crib, man?
Oh man, everything went well. We had a good Thanksgiving, brother.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely happy that you back from your trip. So
Oh
glad
man.
y'all man.
Yeah, definitely had a good time, Jerry, man. But you know, it was great spending time with the family. But you know, I'm just excited to be back talking football, despite where the Saints are right now, man. Still good to talk about some football, man. But the floor is yours, man. What you got for us tonight?
Well, TJ, I don't have a whole lot to say except we already know that we're already eliminated because talking about somebody was saying we still in the hunt. Guess what? Yeah, we're in the hunt on the couch.
hunting for that number one pick. That's about it, man. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a disaster, man. And I said before, Jerry, like when we all talked about this season, like nobody expected for the Saints really, like realistically, to make the playoffs or win the division. But to actually see it in real time and see how much of a disaster this team has been, I mean, it's extremely frustrating, man, because I mean, man, man, we're around the same age here. I mean, you can remember like some of these bad times when the New Orleans Saints were like awful, and you just said, man, I never want to see anything like this again. And now here we are in 2025, man. It's kind of worse. But what are your thoughts, man? Just overall of the team, man. Like, what do you think about? I mean, of course, 2-10 is terrible, but what are your thoughts on the team and how this season has been?
Well, TJ, going into the new season earlier this year, with the new coach, new players, and all that, new coaching staff, and all that, I was expecting this team to go like at least like 8 or 9 wins this year, but sitting at 2-10, yeah, that leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, because we just got to make some change. And TJ, I was hearing something the other day. They were talking about, they need to fire Kellen. They need to fire Kellen Moore because he's doing an awful job. I say, look, you got to understand something. This is his first year, and you just got to give him more time because he got a 3-year contract right now.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, the first year is training season, and who knows, he might do better next year.
Right. Yeah. Look, I'm not judging him based on this season. I think we know that the talent isn't there. But the one thing that I am judging him on, Jerry, is the play calling. Like it's been terrible. Like it has been terrible, and that's something I feel like you can evaluate a person on. Like because that's what got you the job. Like what got you the job is your ability to be able to successfully coach an offense, and the offense has not been like a factor. And we can talk about like players and not having the right personnel. I mean, I'm with you on that, but it don't seem like guys are schemed to be open. Like when Peyton used to call the plays, like guys were like wide the freak open. Like you rarely ever see that, and it just seems like the offense is extremely hard to do. Like everybody just seems like they just trying to make something work. And that's the biggest issue. But no, I don't think that it should lead to a firing. And I just think that that's just insane that any Saints fan would think that the New Orleans Saints are going to fire this guy, because I'm pretty sure they probably had a conversation with him and he told them, well, like, man, we're going to a difficult situation here, and they probably like, we ain't going to judge you on your first year. And I don't think Saints fans should, because the energy was just that. Oh man, let's not judge him on his first year. Like, we know that he's going into a tough situation. So, but things change, right? I mean, it's like when it's one thing that I actually say it, but actually to be in it is like, dang, man, I don't know if I can deal with this again, right? So I don't know, man. I definitely agree with you, Jerry. I think that people need to give him a chance, and I just think that's the emotion of Saints fans kind of like, rearing his head. But people just want to win at the end of the day, man.
Exactly, TJ. And we talked about this before. There are different types of Saints fans. The one that stick with them forever, the ones that want this team win and succeed, and you see the other ones that they like to be in disbelief and stuff like that. You got to understand something. Look, I heard somebody say, if you say fire Kellen Moore, look, if you're looking for that to happen, you sir, you ma'am, are FOS. And I'm not going to say it on TJ because it's a family show, and I want to keep it that way. Because you already know, y'all know what FOS means. So I'm not going to say it.
Full of that ish. Full of that ish. Yeah, man. Look, I agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying. I do not feel like anybody should be talking about this man being fired. Now, like I said, it's a fair question. It's a fair question to question some of the things you've seen and to see, can he be able to change things around? But he definitely deserves that right, especially what this team has to offer and what they had to offer him, him taking a head coaching job. You got anything else, Jerry?
No, TJ, that's all I got, except I said, I'm going to leave you with this. Yeah, we may be eliminated from the playoffs, but at least the Falcons lost to the Jets.
Yeah, man. Hey, which basically leads me.
Because I know.
Let's go ahead.
Man, I can't understand it. Why they always choking? It just seems like this team just can't come through. Every year the fan base always yelling and screaming, talking about what them pigeons don't do to you. But they keep on choking all the time, choking all the time, choking all the time. The Falcons keep on choking all the time, choking all the time. They're choking all the time. Choking all the time. The Falcons choking all the time. Choking all the time. Choking all the time. The Falcons choking all the time. Choking all the time. At the beginning of the season, Falcon fans was dancing. Open lane for Bijan to run through. Then a few weeks later, reality starts to sink in. Reality starts to sink in. Your season is over, no playoffs for you. Cause your team keeps choking all the time, choking all the time, choking all the time. The Falcons keep on choking all the time, choking all the time. The Falcons keep on choking all the time, choking all the time, choking all the time. The Falcons keep on choking all the time, choking all the time. Choking all the time. The Falcons choking all the time. choking all the time. Choking all the time. Got talking, choking all the time. Choking all the time. Choking all the time. Got talking, choking all the time. Choking all the time. You should know by now. They're gonna let you down. Choking all the time. You should know by now. They're gonna let you down. Choking all the time. Choking all the time. Choking all the time. Choking all the time. The Falcons keep on choking all the time.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Falcons always choking all the doggone time, man. Look, they were talking last week. Hey, they was talking last week, Jerry. Quiet this week. That's my whole point. But
Look, and I don't want, and TJ, before I leave, I want to say this. I don't want to hear no Falcon fan talking about, oh, at least we beat y'all. Yeah, but you lost to the Jets. It's any given Sunday. It's any given week, bro. Get used to it.
Look,
and look,
all I know is, look,
we're sitting on the couch. Look, we're already sitting on the couch. We just wait for y'all to come on so we can talk more down to you.
Man,
rise up,
bro. I'm gonna tell you this. When the Falcons beat the Saints, nobody was shocked by that. Now, when the Jets beat the Falcons, everybody was shocked by that. I'm like, everybody was shocked by that. Everybody was shocked. So all I'm saying is, look, man. I mean, look, you got to keep your words soft and sweet, man. And but at the end of the day, you can always count on them Falcons to do their job, which is choke away a great opportunity for themselves. And now, now they even further back, man. Now you got Carolina. Like they had an impressive win versus the Rams, and then you got the Bucs. So now they further and further back. So they're gonna be on the couch in no time. Because we all know that Kirk Cousins not gonna lead them boys nowhere. So they'll have they sign up, eliminated from playoff contention. We can tell all of our friends,
yes,
that the Atlanta Falcons is the playoffs again. All right, Jerry, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Call back anytime, man.
Will do, TJ. You have a good week. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Love you guys. Hey, stay strong with that nation. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah, man, we're gonna be all right, man. As long as them Falcons continue to choke, we're gonna be all right. Take care, Jerry.
You gotta be blessed, man. I'm out.
You too. Man, shouts out to Jerry. Yeah, man. Look, you always count on them Atlanta Falcons to lift your spirits, especially when the New Orleans Saints aren't doing their job, right? I mean, they just not out here doing what they need to do, man. But look, here's the good thing, man. Like, look, y'all may not be able to count on these New Orleans Saints going out here handling their business, all right? But I do want to show y'all this, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to Chris. Yeah, man. I mean, y'all can always count on your boy, man, to come through. All right. Let me see if I can find what I'm talking about here. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, as y'all know, the New Orleans Saints, they were unsuccessful. They couldn't get it done, man. They couldn't get it done versus the Miami Dolphins. But the good thing is, man, I got y'all covered. I got y'all covered, man. I got y'all covered here. Because your boy went out here, man. If you can't count on the Saints to do something for you, you gotta go ahead and try to do this thing yourself. All right. The Saints couldn't get it done against the Miami Dolphins. So I took matters into my own hands. All right. I went out here, had my vacation, and I had success versus the Dolphins. There it is right there, man. That's me out there in the Bahamas right there. I knew the New Orleans Saints were gonna let us down. So I had to stand in the trenches for the Who Dat Nation, and we had success against the Dolphin. Man, shouts out to the Dolphin right there, man. He was a good sport about it, man. It was right here. He told me that his Dolphins was gonna beat my Saints, and I told him I ain't believe him, but sure enough, where his name is Ben Moo. Ben Moo was absolutely right. So shouts out to Ben Moo, man. But we had success against the Dolphins, more success than the Saints. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to Chris. Chris, how you doing, man?
How you doing, TJ? How you doing, brother?
Man, we doing all right, man. We gotta laugh through the pain, Chris, man. We gotta laugh through the pain, bro. But we here.
I find myself laughing every single week that I watch this show that we call football in New Orleans.
Man, I appreciate you. Look, I honestly just appreciate you spending your Monday night talking about this nonsense that we watch every single week, man. I mean,
it's crazy because I wouldn't have it no other way, man. They letting us down, but I know I'm a former football player myself, brother. So I understand the process and what you got to go through when you rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? So I remember you saying something earlier this season, like on the lines of don't really get your hopes up because we already see and understand what's going to take place this season. Mm-hmm. I didn't see 8 or 9 wins. Honestly, I seen at least 3 or 4, but considering we still got 4, 5, 6 games left, they might be able to pull something out the bag. But if they don't, I mean, it's no shock to me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it. Honestly, all I really want to say, I've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I don't think it's a quarterback issue, TJ. I like Spencer Rattler. Okay. And I like Chuck. I like them both. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They look just the same because you said this earlier, the coach might be scheming something up for them the same way so they can just look the same. But honestly, I think this is something that's taking place from Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis, whatever they tried to put together and it didn't work. And they kept trying to make it work, and it just kept failing and kept failing. It's just like, okay, you got players out here who can't execute. You got 2 quarterbacks who can actually play football. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're not bad at all. But when you don't have the players to execute, I mean, of course, there are going to be bad calls. You know what I'm saying? This is just like being a parent, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're going to make a decision where it's not the right disciplinary decision for the child. Right. But at the same time, the child has to execute. You know what I'm saying? Because you're putting it out there. You're teaching them. You're showing them the way. But if you don't go out there and execute, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? So Kellen Moore is a little soft sometimes, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's a personnel issue. It's time to clean house. It's time to clean house up top, and it's time to clean house. It's been time to clean house on the field. Right. They should have changed that. And I feel like all these shenanigans started when they decided to give Derek Carr all this money, and now coaching and it puts him in the bind because now he can't do what he need to do or want to do to try to change the situation or the atmosphere of the locker room, or just the camaraderie of the football team. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got players just going out here lollygagging it. It just don't seem like they really want to play. And if they do really want to play, and this is what y'all doing, then I don't know. Because everybody on Kellen Moore tail and everybody trying to come at Spencer Rattler, they take Spencer Rattler out the game, put Tyler Shuck in. The same thing is still happening. And it's like, yo, this is clearly a team issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to get rid of y'all need to get some dogs in. Yeah. Honestly, I'm proud of I can't believe I'm finna say this, but I'm proud of Chase Young. I
mean, sure, that ain't no problem. No, man. I mean, look. You got to give guy credit what credit is due. You know, like everybody was like, you know, like going at this guy. You know, everybody just thought like, oh, he gonna miss 1 game this season, and then all of a sudden it turned into 2 and 3 games, and people started like criticizing this guy. Man, he always hurt. Nah, man, give that man the same type of love and keep that same type of energy. Like that's what Chris, that's what I don't like, bro. Like, it's okay. Like, if you have a take or opinion about something and somebody changes that opinion, it's okay for you to sit up here and say, man, you know what? I was wrong. Like, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Like, you have enough takes, you have enough opinions. Eventually, you're gonna get proven wrong. But I just don't, man. This man has been balling, man. He has been balling. And if he would have started early in the season, he might have double-digit sacks right now.
Has been balling this year. And it's what makes it balling to me even more is when the play is going away from him and you see him still trying to do his thing. And I'm like, man, look at this boy go, bro. Like, and it proved me wrong because last year I was like, man, well, Chase Young, all right. But once he got acclimated and came back, it was like, the boy he out on a mission right now. And I'm like, man, if we could just have that in especially this old line, man, for the life of me, I don't know what's going on with this old line, man. Like,
gotta get it fixed, Chris.
And I feel like even we got players in this, like these rookies we got in the secondary, they pretty solid, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like they don't have the right leadership above them to really grasp like what is going on, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, Kellen Moore can only do so much. Like, it ain't like he can. I mean, he giving y'all the blueprint right in front of y'all face, and then y'all just going out there letting his man down, and everybody talking about something. Get rid of Kellen Moore, bro. This is his first year, bro.
I'm not with that.
When you in kindergarten and you making bad decisions, do they kick you out of school? No, you got 11 more years to make it up.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. Like, I think anybody that's talking about firing Kellen Moore at this point, like, I like questioning the play call and his ability to call plays and why the offense looks stale when that's his calling card. I'm with you on that. But it's pretty obvious that this guy came in and he got dealt a bad hand. And we can't on one hand say, oh, we understand that. There's a reason why nobody really wanted to interview for this job. Like, we tend to forget things when it's not in front of our face anymore. Nobody wanted to come to New Orleans. Like, they like the Ben Johnsons, the Mike Vrabels, they requested interviews with these guys, and they said, nah, hard pass. Like, bro, I give him credit just for him to want to stand on the front line and be in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
We got to give this man some credit. Like, this wasn't like he was about to coach the Chiefs or something. Like, this was a team with an aging roster, bad salary cap, and has a history of whiffing on draft picks. Like, we can't sit up here like a lot of like we fall in love with nostalgia, right? We want the same things that have made us laugh to continue to make us laugh. We want to continue. We want us to make the same dish the same way, using the same ingredients, and it just don't work like that, bro. Like, we seen like the New Orleans Saints go through one of the worst situations with Hurricane Katrina and hire Sean Payton, and boom, success. It don't work like that, man. Like, that was lightning in a bottle, my guy. And you're not going to get that. You're not going to always get that. So, to me, I'm like, I don't have an issue with Kellen Moore as a head coach overall. I do think there's some things that he needs to work out, but I think the way the Saints look have more to do with the fact that they just don't have the horses in the barn, more so than I just sit up here and just think, 100%, like, without a shadow of a doubt, he can't like get the best out of him. Now, it's worth questioning, but let's just say if he has a better, better personnel, which his numbers show, when you put better personnel around him, he thrives as a head coach.
Yeah.
Question is, will that front office be able to get it for him? That's what people need to understand. We need to start asking that question, and we need to start like, let's keep our eyes on the prize here. Let's keep our eyes on the freaking prize. Do not let this situation shy you away from how the hell the New Orleans Saints got in this situation in the first place.
You feel me? And that's why I said, like, it's time to clean house up here too, because all the decisions. You know what I'm saying? And Kellen Moore might have some say so here and there, but at the end of the day, whoever you got in your front office, what they say, go.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the military right now, and that's how it operates. I mean, I could sit here and hand out instructions and do this and do that, but with whoever in that office, whatever they say, that's what goes.
Right.
And I feel like that's what a lot of fans, and I had to come to this conclusion myself because I was one of them. We have to realize, like, okay, a lot of this shenanigans is coming from the office. I mean, and for the most part, I feel like the majority of fans know that, but they just don't want to believe it because when they open their mouth, it's fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach. Very rarely do you have somebody that's like, okay, well, let's look in the front office and see what they got going on in there. And people don't want to look at that, TJ, and it's baffling to me. I mean, it's so every week we sit here and laugh and crying. I don't know how many times I've sat here and watched you live stream a game, and man, you just dying and dying, man. That damn game, man. Juwan Johnson was tripping. I can't remember who he was playing, but oh my God, I sat there and watched you die. I was sitting on the couch dying.
Oh man, it was when they played the Bucks, boy. Oh my goodness. That was one of the most hilarious things ever. It is right here, bro. I got the Tyler Shuck looking, throws. Oh man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious, man. That was hilarious when he dropped that. When I seen him drop that ball, man.
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, "Oh my God!"
My goodness, bro. I was like, man, I can't believe this. But hey, Chris, man, I gotta go ahead and go, man. We got a few more calls I gotta get to, but it was great chopping it up with you, man. I appreciate the support and call back anytime, my brother.
I appreciate you having me on, man. Hey, you have a good night, TJ, brother.
All right. You too, man. Take it easy. Yeah. Man, shouts out to Chris, man. Also, man, thank you for your service, brother. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for your service, man. But yeah, man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious, man. Let's go ahead and we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to Doc. Doc, how you doing, man? Thank you for your patience, brother.
Hey, what's going on, TJ?
Man, nothing much, man. Look, out here just enjoying great company like yourself and Chris and Jerry, man, and so many others, man. What you got on your mind tonight, my friend?
Well, I first had to let you know I'm not a dang on bot. You know, YouTube jacked up my name so much. I had to call in.
Look, man, I first off, I know you're not a bot. Like, man, you always support, always see you in the chat. And I appreciate the love that you show to this show, man. I mean, you've been watching and supporting throughout the years, man. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, but look, man, I think Saints fan, but long time Saints fan, like we have been.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, we back to the '90s, man. But it's okay. It's okay. We gonna get through it. You know, we gotta stay out of Florida though, man.
Oh man.
The River City, America, we run the dang on kickoff back and then miss the dang extra point.
Oh my goodness, bro. Man.
And here we go in Miami. We get the onside kick.
Man.
And we doing the tush push with Cesar Ruiz. Come on, man. You know that ain't gonna work.
Man, bro. Okay, so like I said, Doc, I was on the road, my guy. I was on the road. I was coming back from, ironically, I was coming from Florida. But I was listening to the call. I just heard 4th and 1, they didn't get it. When I went back home and saw the play, I'm like, what was that?
Man, I didn't even watch it.
Like, come on, y'all could scheme up something better than that, man. That was horrible.
I didn't even watch it. When I saw how they lined up, I just got up and left. And I don't know what the hell I want to do, but it wasn't watch the game because I already knew how that was gonna go. I already knew how it was gonna go. But man, I think Kellen is he's still learning, but he learning more than I think that we can see that he learned.
Right.
Like he learning that he got a whole lot of holes on his roster that just got bodies in it, but not no real players.
Yeah.
I know they came out wrong, but you know what I mean. You know, it's
I
guys that
get
just
what you
can't.
look. I get what you're saying. He basically trying, like, they got that old saying. He just trying to turn chicken ish into chicken
Yeah,
salad. Like
yeah.
and also I want to make this point because you brought up a very like good point here. You was talking about them getting an onside kick. I want people to understand this, okay? The success rate of getting an onside kick in the modern day NFL, it is 6%. You got a
Shout out to
6%
Charlie
chance
Smith, man.
of successfully recovering an onside kick. Like, based on the new rules, first off, you have to tell the referees now that you're going for an onside kick. Like, so you can set it up. So the other team already know what's coming. So they can set it up. They can have their hands team out there. You can't catch them off guard. There is no ambush like what Sean Payton called in the Super Bowl.
Right.
6%, and they got the ball and still lost. Like what can you do, my guy? Like, what can you do?
You just could laugh,
do,
man. You just laugh. When I watch the game now, man, I come outside, put the grill on, put the TV on, but I don't be really paying attention. When they do something good, I'd be like, okay. But I will say this, man. Shout out to Cam for being the oldest dude on the team with the most sacks.
Leading by example, bro. Still doing it.
Cam, Chase, doing this thing.
Yeah.
The whole defense really, except for a little couple spots here and there, they get better as the year go.
Yeah.
The offense is what's got the. I don't know what's going on with it, but I think Kellen I think he's trying to find out who can do what still.
Yeah.
And so far the only thing he's figured out is who can't do.
Yeah. I mean, basically they just have a bunch of guys out there just trying to do the best that they can. They just trying to do whatever they possibly can in order to try to make things work. And that's the biggest issue I have. I just think that their offense is almost like playing darts. Like, they're just throwing something at the wall, man. They're just hoping that it stick, hoping that you hit the bullseye. And I don't know, man. Will he look better with a better offense? Like, I believe that, because his numbers indicate that he will. Like, he improves when he has talent around him. I mean, that's just human nature. Like, if you got
anybody, you
got a sorry team, and you don't have the right. I won't call them sorry, but I mean, they got some talented guys on the team, but they don't have like NFL caliber players like that can step up in crucial moments like you see for some of these other teams.
Right.
And like, you basically got to coach perfect. Like, they got to go out there, first 15 plays got to be flawless. Like, the Saints cannot play from behind, and most of the time they end up finding themselves having to play from behind, Doc. So it's rough. And like, this is a failed season. Hopefully they can come back next year. I don't know what Trey Palmer and Jalen Pope can do, but you need to accompany this wide receiver group, Olave and Vele, with some young talented guys. And the one thing that the Saints is missing on this offense, they missing that dynamic guy. Like, I was watching Cleveland Browns when Shadur Sanders had his first start, and he threw the ball to the running back. And he threw a 2-yard pass to the running back, and he turned that thing to about a 70-yard touchdown.
Right.
That's what they
Devin
need,
Neal
bro.
could be that dude, man. I think Devin Neal could be that dude, but he always got to sidestep 3 people when he get the ball.
Man. Devin Neal, I'm glad you mentioned him. Devin Neal, he was a 6th-round pick for the Saints, but this dude was really good at Kansas. And Kansas had a really respectable offensive line he was able to run through. Like, they don't have that. Like, Devin Neal is a one cut back. Like, I want people to appreciate how good Devin Neal is, but they just need a better offensive line. I don't want people like, I seen people whispering, talking about Devin Neal was fool's gold. Like, what do you expect for this dude to do?
I mean, what the hell game they watching?
Bro.
That dude get the ball and he got to make 2 people miss right away.
Man.
And he still get a yard or 2,
Who do that? Finding success in his backfield? Like, even Alvin Kamara, your best running back, couldn't find success. So who
No.
gonna find it? Like everybody wants these players to overcome the odds, but we have to understand and look at what these dudes are going up against. Like it's a bad offensive line on the interior. Like
Very,
like
very
you got
much.
your. I feel like you got your outside anchors. They just need to fix this offensive line, and people don't want to hear that, Doc, because Mickey Loomis sucks at selecting offensive linemen, but
Yeah,
they need to
it
fix
is
this
what it
offensive
is,
line,
man.
man.
It is
They-
what it is, you know. We ain't
I
gonna
mean,
do. You can't do nothing without an offensive line, man.
nope. You
Hey,
cannot do anything without an offensive line. And I know it's a boring position. It's one of the
right?
positions where if a guy is good, you never mention his name. And
Yeah,
if he sucks, then everybody know who he is. It's one of those positions where you don't want your name to be called, but you
yeah,
need
man.
those offensive line, man. You need those guys to hold up. That is how the team going to find success, in my opinion. We can talk about quarterbacks all day. We can talk about wide receivers all day. If you don't have an offensive line that's going to hold up and give the quarterback time to get the ball to your playmaking receiver, guess what? You'll never know how great he is. So they're gonna have to fix this thing, man. Like we don't want to hear it, but
Yeah,
but
they
that's what
gotta
it
do
is, bro.
something. Now they're gonna have to spend at least one draft pick on the offensive lineman.
Yep.
At least one. I hate to say that, but they're gonna have to do it, man. And
They're
pray
gonna
to
have to
God
look
they
at,
can find somebody else in free agency.
yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. I don't know exactly who is a top NFL free agent in on the offensive line. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull this up, man. Because I mean, you can probably do what you probably did, draft an offensive lineman and then get somebody like Larry Wolford or something like that, like they did in the past. But
Right.
you need an offensive you need offensive line help.
Hey, we
They
gotta
got to
get
fix it.
at least two more starters.
Yeah,
I mean, at
man,
least
get
two.
Ruiz up out of here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Ruiz gotta
bro.
go. Yeah,
He got to
yeah,
go, bro. What you see is what you freaking get. I mean, I'm looking
yeah.
at this offensive line list. Not too many guys to write home about. I mean, I don't know, man. Like you might end up like being in the same position you was in before. Like I'm looking at this list. None of these guys really knocking my socks off here, bro. I mean, you got
Well,
Braden Smith, who probably gonna end up like getting re-signed. Like he played for the Indianapolis Colts. He's a really good offensive lineman. He's 29 years old. You got Wyatt Teller from the Cleveland Browns. He's 31. You don't want to go down that road. You want your offensive line to get
yeah,
younger. So I mean,
don't want to do that.
you got Jordan
They don't
Simpson
want
on
to
the list.
spend too many damn picks on them. So I mean, we
No,
might be stuck in the spot where you might have to trade out of that whatever that pick is we're gonna get
yeah,
just to get some more people, just to get some more players, man. Because
yeah. I'm
that might
gonna
be
go ahead and
the
put this up on the screen
what
so everybody else can
yeah,
see it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and put this
that
up
may
on the screen so everybody else can check it out.
may just be the position we in, man.
Yeah,
I, you know,
yeah. Like
it,
I said, man. I mean, look, you got Trevor Penning on the list. You got
oh
Dylan
hell,
Radins. You got Dylan Radins on the list. He's gonna be a free agent after this season. Like, who you getting?
I don't know.
I mean, bruh. I mean, Kevin Zelta. I mean, he's been in the league forever. So you're gonna have to address. You're gonna have to address this offensive line. You're gonna have to address it.
In a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, Conor McGovern ain't going nowhere. I mean, he a free agent, but
Yeah,
they're gonna end up like signing him. If you want to maybe run it back with Will Clapp or something like that. I don't know, but you're gonna have to fix his
yeah.
offensive
I
line, man. You're
mean,
gonna have to figure
we got
something out.
a lot of folks that play offensive line for us that don't, their health is failing them. So you
Yeah.
can't count on them.
Yep.
I would love for Eric McCoy to be the starting center and stay there, but
Mm-hmm.
the last 3 seasons he ain't been able to finish the season. So
Yep. And that's the thing. Like you don't go into the season, Doc, trying to get rid of Eric McCoy, but you definitely
you got to get
want to
something
draft
behind him.
somebody that can play both. They can play both guard and center and slide into the inside. Like you got to look for that. Rather it's somebody in free agency, like I mentioned, somebody that can play like starting guard but slide into the center position. You need that because Eric McCoy, as good as he's been, like he showed you that, hey man, like these injuries starting to pile up. So at the end of the day, you got to
Yeah,
figure this thing out, and
yeah, that's an
hopefully they will,
unfortunate
man.
situation, man. I hate that
Yeah,
it happened to him, but I mean he know the
football, man.
game just like everybody else. It's a business, man.
It's football, man. Football, you got to do what's best. Like, you can't be sitting around here, oh man, Eric McCoy's family. Like, he also has to understand it's a business. Like, you have to figure this thing out. I mean, look, I don't have anything against Luke Fortner. I don't think he's been bad. I don't. He's a serviceable backup offensive lineman.
Ruiz, this dude that's always on the ground, man.
Yeah, Ruiz, like, man, he like that. That's not it. Like, that's not it. Like, you got to go in a different direction. All right, but Doc, I appreciate the call, man. It's a pleasure speaking with you, man. Putting a face with the name, and I appreciate you, man, for chopping it up with me, man, and giving me your perspective about the team, man. And call back anytime.
All right, man. You be easy, TJ.
All right, you too, Doc. Take care. Yeah, shouts out to Doc, man. I mean, we always see him in the chat, always supporting the show, and I appreciate that, man. So it's good that he actually chimed in and talked to us a little bit about the team. And look, shouts out to the Wrench game out here, man. Shouts out to my boy Cartel making it in the building, man. I guess we can call him an after show boy.
Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting and be posting. They be tweeting. Yeah, them after show boys.
Shouts out to all the after show boys, after show girls out there. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Much love to you. And also shouts out to everybody that chimed in, called in, made comments. All right. I'm gonna take 2 minutes, two more minutes, and read a few comments here because I want to, give the chat some attention. I appreciate the call-ins, by the way. Devin Neal be lowering that shoulder. I like Devin Neal, man. I like Devin Neal a lot. I just hope that Saints fans don't give up on that kid because he's talented. I've always liked Devin Neal when he went off against Colorado. Yeah, man. I mean, look, get that man a better offensive line. I guarantee everybody going to be wearing Devin Neal jerseys. That I honestly believe. I like Neal too, but he's another AK. We need a power running back. Whoa. No, he's not. No. I don't agree with that right there, man. Addison, look, Devin Neal definitely is more of a power back than a finesse back. Like, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, but I feel like he's more Ingram. He's more Ingram than Kamara to me. Like, looking at him, like, he basically, like, Mark Ingram kind of was built like a bowling ball. He's more like a more polished young Mark Ingram. Like, Mark Ingram, when he first got into the league, he wasn't like really good in the screen game because, he was more of a one-cut back. That's what I look at when I look at Devin Neal. Like, Devin Neal kind of reminds me more of Mark Ingram than he does Alvin Kamara. I think the New Orleans Saints need to find more of an Alvin Kamara than a Devin Neal. Like, that's just my opinion. I mean, because you look at Devin Neal, let me see. Like, Devin Neal is 5'11", 213. I mean, is that not Mark Ingram? Mark Ingram was about 5'11", 215. Like, that's Mark. That's Mark Ingram. Like, he's more Mark Ingram than I would say Alvin Kamara. Ingram, TJ, I think Miller more a power running back than him. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think Devin Neal is more of a he's kind of similar to Mark Ingram more so than Alvin Kamara. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I do feel like the New Orleans Saints need a AK, right? I also understand where you're coming from. You're not looking at AK 2017 to when Sean Payton left AK because that's what you feel like the Saints need. You're looking at how the Saints have utilized him over the last couple of years. I agree with you on that, but I look at Devin Neal. I see Mark Ingram. Maybe it's just the fact because they built the same. They got that kind of that same similar build. So when I see him, it's like watching Mark Ingram. And then there was a video of Mark Ingram greeting the running backs before the game, and they basically looked like mirrors on themselves. Like, they was like, eye length, and the size was basically the same. Yeah, I see more Mark Ingram than anything from Devin Neal. But I agree, man. Kendra is more of that power back. TJ, do you feel like the 2025 draft will take a big step next year? It's a good question. Based on what I see, man, I think this is a really good draft. It's been one of the best drafts the Saints have had in a while. I think you see players making plays all over the field, and that's what you want. Like, I mean, Calvin Banks, I feel like that was a hit. Tyler Shuck, based on what I've seen so far, I believe that's a hit. You don't know really what you got with Vernon Broughton. He was lost for the season, but I mean, I think he showed some flashes there. Uranus Sinker, I feel like he's been doing some really good things. Quincy Riley should have had a pick yesterday. They screwed that man out of that interception. But, he's been solid, solid enough for the New Orleans Saints to be able to get a supplemental pick for Isaac Yaddam. Devin Neal, I think that he's a solid guy. Bataval, he didn't play, but at the end of the day, I think this is a solid draft, man. Danny Stutzman, I think that he has been pretty solid as well in spots. So, I mean, look, I think this is a solid draft. I mean, you see playmakers. Now, it ain't the 2017 draft. 2017 draft, I mean, the Saints not making the playoffs without those guys. And that's where I feel like the disconnect is. Like, when I'm looking around this team, other than Calvin Banks, and, it's still pending with Tyler Shuck, there's not a guy on this team while I'm just sitting up here. I guess you can throw Sinker in there too. But there's not a guy on this team I feel like in a couple of years we're going to be asking if they hurt or they dealing with something. I'm not going to wood when I say this. I hope they never hurt. But it's one of those situations where it's like, who are you going to be looking at in the next couple of years and be like, man, dang, he ain't playing? I mean, the only person I can think of, Tyler Shuck and Calvin Banks. I'm taking the best player available at round number 1. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people looking at Orville Reese. You know what I'm saying? Like, looking at him as the next big thing. And based on the Saints defense and how they play, they need speed on the perimeter, man. They need speed. And that's the reason why you see guys like Stutzman out there. That's the reason why you see Isaiah Stallberg, who, to me, like, that's a breath of fresh air. Like, Isaiah Stallberg, like, that's a guy who, to me, going to end up getting some playing time. Like, every time he's out there on the field, like, he flashes. And he's fast, and he's, and I think he kind of fits that mold of what a Brandon Staley defense wants to be. So, yeah. Family is nothing new. They love to screw the Saints. Yeah, yeah, man, that was a pick. That was an interception. I don't know what they was talking about. I'm looking at Reese. He would fit our scheme. Yep. They need like a hybrid guy. They need a guy that can stand up and also put his hand on the ground and get after the quarterback. That's what they need. They need a guy that's versatile. And, I think I wouldn't – it wouldn't hurt if they had 2 of those guys. Wouldn't hurt. Like, I know what Chase Young is, but I don't – look, Chase Young is having a great season. I think it's one of his best seasons he's had in quite some time. But it's too few and far in between. Like, early in the game, Cam Jordan had 2 sacks in the first quarter. After that, it's like, man, okay, Chase Young came through with the sack, and then all of a sudden it's like, where the pressure at? Like, where the pressure at? It's like, the Saints need somebody that can consistently get after the quarterback. Somebody that the offense, the offensive line coach is going to have to, like, scheme up for. Like, that's what the Saints need. Like, it's wishful thinking to get somebody like Myles Garrett. Like, one of Myles Garrett, like, come on, bro. Let's be real about this. You ain't getting no Myles Garrett. That guy's a generational talent. But if you can get somebody like similar to that, like a Michael Parsons, TJ Watt, like, you get somebody like that can sit up there and, like, get double-digit sacks, like getting 2 and 3 sacks a game, like prime Cam Jordan. And you can get Arvell Reese, man. Come on, bro. Like, you get Reese and you get yourself like another, like, man, beast on the defensive line. Man, you got something. You got something. That's what you need. Like, I have nothing against, like, Chase Young. But Chase Young isn't a consistent pass rusher. he's a genetic freak. Like when it comes to like, you know, being on the line, being that explosive and stuff, but it comes too few and far in between. Like I'm talking about 10, 12, 15 sacks a season. The Saints had that. They just decided to let it go. Y'all remember Trey Hendrickson? They decided to go ahead and, you know, man, he had 13 sacks on the way out. He just won a new contract. What'd he do? Get 17 and a half sacks in back-to-back seasons. Thank you very much, Mickey Loomis. But let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I know we went a little bit longer, but, you know, it's been a while since I did a show. Of course, I was on vacation on last week, and I just appreciate everybody for stopping by. You know, shouts out once again to Chosen for holding down the fort while, you know, I was gone. And shouts out to everybody, man. Thank y'all for, you know, supporting the show still. We'll be back on Tuesday. This time we'll be over at the NFC South Roundtable. Make sure that you subscribe to the NFC South Roundtable channel. We'll be breaking down the games on the from the NFC South, and we'll be great to be back with the team, man. Wasn't on the show, Chosen filled in for me on that. So, and also, man, I just appreciate everybody for spending their night with yours truly, man. Y'all could have been doing something else with your time, so I just appreciate that. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can go to youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast, or hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications right now. Towards the end of the season, that's when we're going to start picking back up on the state of the NFL. No, I didn't forget about the channel, but between doing the little flag football thing, extracurricular activities, and also holding down, you know, the radio station, it was a little bit, you know, tiring. And I always tell people, man, I don't want to do shows when I just don't have the energy. You know, I don't feel like people deserve a lackluster show. Not going to do that, though. But we will pick up with the state of NFL towards the end of the season, you know, as we transition to the postseason, because it's not like we're going to be talking about the Saints in the postseason for the 5th consecutive year. Thank you very much, Mickey Loomis. But we will be talking about some great things leading into the offseason. Of course, I mean, this is going to be a no-brainer. We all know that Drew Brees is going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's a good thing. Need to put my boy Jari Evans off in that thing too. Shouts out to Jari. You know, so it should be a really good offseason. You know, with our quarterback, our guy Drew Brees being celebrated for the great quarterback that he is, and you know, every bit of great quarterback play that the New Orleans Saints had, it seems like he has taken it with him. But who knows? Maybe this Tyler Shuck experience will be able to work out. All right, follow me on X at TJAYJones8. And also, once again, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Till next time, all I got to say is,
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh my God.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
all I got to say is, who that?